You're now watching The Hot Seat, powered by XS Energy Drink. When you're drinking XS, you're drinking the best. And now, live from the CSL studio, your host, Nesta Can.
Good afternoon and welcome to The Hot Seat. We're here for another episode, a great episode we have today with two special guests in the building. We have my boy Lloyd and my boy JD. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
So let me just interrupt for a second.
Okay.
Because I want to set the stage for everybody. This is what they call an ambush. I didn't know Lloyd would be here today, but I am excited that Lloyd's here today because I'm going to call this Nesta. Nesta, how many episodes do you think you've done so far?
With you or just by myself?
Just in general.
For this podcast, about probably 30.
So I would say this is going to be like your Irv Gotti Drunk Champs version right now.
Are you stupid?
Okay, all right. How you fellas doing today?
Excellent, man. Excellent. Can't wait for the season, man.
You ready to get into this?
Let's go, man.
Okay. I'm going to shoot some things to you guys rapid fire about the upcoming season. A lot of things happen this off season, and I want to get you guys' take about what happened. Let's start off with Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. What are your thoughts on Tyreek Hill to Miami? We'll go this way. You and then
me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think we have to be so prescribed. I think we're playing nice right now, which I don't think you want us on here to play.
You guys just jump in. How about that?
Nah. I like it. I like it. I get it. Clearly he went there for the money. But I would say this is a great move for Miami because now you put him with Jalen Waddle, who had a great rookie season. A lot of people sleeping on Mike Gesicki. Sorry if I pronounced this right. The tight end, he did good too. And I know they acquired some running backs. They just recently dropped Sony Michel. So now I think it's Gaskin and I can't even keep up that three running backs.
Edmonds.
Yeah,
they got
a few running backs, but I mean, I like the acquisition, but obviously, Tyreek. I think he had a podcast talking about Tua. I think he throws a better ball than it's for clout. I get it. He a little salty because the Chiefs ain't want to give him the money that he wanted, but Tua's not he's not a Patrick Mahomes. But as far as for the Dolphins giving a nice splash, especially in the in the AFC East, I like it.
What are your thoughts on Tua?
Tua has a lot to prove himself. I think now there's no excuse now. I know last year with him and Flores with this and that, but this year they said, okay, you know what? This is it. This is his third season now. This is it. There's no excuses. We picked up Cedric Wilson. We have Tyreek Hill, and we got star running backs. Their defense was decent last year too. We beefed up the O line. This is it. So to me, this is make and break. There's no excuses now. It's either you could do it or you can't, because next year's draft class, with the kid from Alabama and a few of all these quarterbacks out.
Yeah, they're projecting 5 quarterbacks to go in the first round next year. I mean, the only question I have about I think Lloyd hit everything on the head, and I have nothing else to add. The only thing that I will add, say I said I had nothing to add, but I'm going to add anyway, is I think Waddle and Tyreek to me seem like the same type of receiver, and I get it. Like if you want to take the roof off of the defense, I get that. I just worry about what it means for Waddle in some ways, because I felt like last year he showed so much progression, so much growth, and I don't know if bringing in Tyreek, who's a similar receiver like him, stunts his growth in any way.
But you know what it is? It's going to open the field because you're going to have to double team Tyreek. You know what I'm saying? So what it could open up the middle for Jalen Waddle to do his little crossing route if you want to run like a little dig route. And also it will work for Gesicki too, because he can run a seam route, especially in the red zone, because you're going to have to double team. You ain't see that one when actually he tweeted me this. He sent me this when he underthrew that
50-yard pass from this past weekend.
Yes, which he underthrew by the way.
Yeah.
Still. But what I'm saying, with him being so fast, it can open up the middle. You know what I'm saying? So you still gonna. And the thing is, even though they're both kind of slot wide receivers, at the end, defending a slot wide receiver is very hard.
Yeah.
Because you got the middle field, you got to cover so much ground. So with both of them doing that, it's gonna open it up. And then you got Cedric Wilson over there still too, so it could open him up too. So everybody's gonna be able to feed off each other. I think it could work, depending on that head coach, because he's new. Yeah. He comes to 49ers. It depends how he schemes it up.
All right, there we go, guys. Next question. Davante Adams to the Raiders. Your thoughts on that move?
Oh, I think that's a solid one. I mean, don't forget, him and Carr actually played together back in college. I think the Raiders need a splash. I mean, the Raiders were decent last year, quite honestly. Let's be honest with ourselves. I do think this is a Derek Carr make or break year as well. The thing that's fascinating, though, is the rumor. And again, I'm not saying this because Lloyd Saints had left of me. Is this rumor that came out with Dana White when he said, a few years ago they had Brady and Gronk committed signed to the Raiders, and John Gruden kind of messed up that deal. The reason why I'm saying that is because when that all came out, if I'm the Raiders, you feel like a complete idiot unless Carr proves you wrong. And I think this is the year in a lot of ways where you got what you call Josh Michaels McDaniels over there in regards to a decent coach. He's been a great offensive coach, hasn't done it as a head coach, but again, he's bringing winning, right? Which again, I'm not going to knock the Patriots over there. I think this is a big year for Carr, in my personal opinion, and I do think there's a level of comfort that Devontae Adams gives him, and I do think when you think about wide receivers from from a technical perspective, Devontae Adams is the best wide receiver in the league. Yeah. Just from a technical, not like fast or speed, like just like technical. If you watch it, like if you have a child or have any kind of kid who's gonna aspire to be a football player at wide receiver, like technique wise, Devontae Adams, what you look at.
I agree. Yeah, the route running, it's immaculate. Immaculate. I definitely agree with that. I agree with him. They had played at college like 7 years ago at Fresno State. That is quite a long time. And I would say this is that at the end of the day, I think Derek Carr to me falls in the category like Kirk Cousins. Like they're just good enough, but they can't. I don't know if they could get you to that extra level. You know what I'm saying? He's decent. And what I've always said what I like about Derek Carr. He's a great leader. He's a great human being. It's just that you haven't won a playoff game. And I don't know. I think the thing is, and you just touched on it just now. Like last year, and I know they went through a lot of crap last year with the whole John Gruden thing, and he still managed to keep the team going. They went to the playoffs, and I like their piece. I like Hunter Renfrow as a slot wide receiver. I think he's good. Darren Waller, I know he got a little contract issue right now, or whatever the case may be. They still got Josh Jacobs. He's okay.
That's where Zahir White comes in, baby. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Stop it. But a question for Lloyd. Like you just described, when you talked about Carr, you compared him to Cousin. Before last year, wouldn't you put Stafford in that same bucket though?
He's a good question.
Yeah, but it's the Lions. That franchise has been terrible, man.
I know, but again, like everything, every box you checked. Because again, like when I think about it pre-last year, when you think about Carr and Cousins, like I would put Stafford in that same category. And last year, Stafford won the goal.
But the thing is, Stafford had a lot to prove because now you with the Rams. Now you had no excuses. Look, they were stacked. So it's like now we put you in a winning team with players. Now is no more is Detroit Lions, is this and that. There's no more excuses. So now it's just like with we just finished discussing with Tua. Now we got everything set up. What's your excuse now? But as far as the Raiders, I think they'll be all right. What still bothers me is their O-line and their defense is terrible. I know they picked up Chandler Jones, but I don't like I never liked their secondary.
But they're also in the toughest division. In my personal opinion, they're in the toughest division. So for them to even finish like 500 in that division, playing against like the Chargers, Broncos, now with Wilson over there, like it's gonna be an uphill battle.
Oh yeah. Wasn't Josh McDaniels a coach for the Broncos? Tim Tebow?
Yeah. That's what he felt. That's what he felt. He
You know what? Because you know what it is. What I noticed with a lot of these Belichick guys, whether it was the one that went to the Giants, the one that went to the Lions, what they know what it is that instead of them coming up with their own identity, they want to use Belichick. They want to be all rough and tough. Like no, you don't have the cachet like that. Like bro, like slow down.
Flores did a pretty good job though.
Yes, Flores. See, but the thing is, if you look at Flores' temperament, you know what I'm saying? He's a little more like mellow, more like a player's coach. These other guys, they want to come in, this stuff like that. And Josh McDaniels with Denver, he had a rude awakening with that, and it humbled him. So when they got rid of his ass, and now he realized, like, you know what? Now he's with the Raiders. This might be my final opportunity. Like, you know what? Okay, let me settle down. Let me hear the players. So no, now he's not in a more humble position, and he's in a better position now. Especially now you acquire Devontae Adams.
I agree.
All right. AJ Brown trade to Philly. Thoughts on that?
I like it.
I'm hemming and hawing because everyone's projecting Philly now to be the best team out of that division, right? And again, putting my Cowboy biases aside, Jalen Hurts hasn't proved anything to me yet, right? Like, and also like, and I like Brown, but like he's constantly hurt. Like he's a great receiver. He's a great top receiver when he plays, but like, how often does he play? Like, I think there's just a lot that has to come together. And like, who's their running back? Like Miles Sanders, like is Gainwell, is Scott the backup? Like I just think, listen, and again, I clearly have biases, but I'm simply saying like what's unclear to me is the identity of that team. For me, like, are you a running team? Are you a passing team? Like, what is Jalen Hurts? Because like they're saying they want Jalen Hurts more in the pocket now. That isn't what Jalen Hurts is really good at. That's not what makes Jalen Hurts so dynamic, right? So like that's the part for me where I'm like, it's still a question mark for me because I really think there's a lot of questions around like Devontae Smith. Like what happens with him year 2 ago? Like I just think there's a lot of questions, and I think Brown is good, but I think he's out of all the receivers you just talked about, like health wise, like he hasn't played a full season.
Yeah. I think, you know what it is? I think with people on paper, as far as the division, they look really solid on offense. I agree. It all falls on Jalen Hurts. Yeah. And obviously, you two know how I feel about running quarterbacks already. But the thing, the thing is with Jalen Hurts is that you're not accurate. This is the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a reason why you got benched for Tua in Alabama. At the end of the day. I get it. Tua got hurt and you came back in and you kind of fixed it up. But Jalen Hurts is another one that's on the hot seat.
Yeah,
he's on the hot seat. This is a make or break year. So this is why they getting all these acquisitions now. Okay, we gave you AJ. So now you got AJ Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You got the tight end Goddard. If I pronounce this. Goddard. Sorry, you got Goddard. And like you said, they got a carousel of this running back thing. So I don't know who's this. I don't know if it's Gainwell or whatever's coming like that. But their defense is solid. I like their defense. They always have like a decent defense, but it always falls on Jalen Hurts because it's the accuracy issues. It is the accuracy issues. So they're only gonna go as far as he goes. But at the end of the day, it's a make or break. It's like, okay, listen. We have everything set up. So now it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I know we're foreshadowing a little bit. Like I think the running back situation, if you're able to, from a fantasy draft perspective, guess that right, you could actually potentially win your league based off of where they're going, right? Yeah, because I think right now it is truly a crapshoot in terms of who is going to be the 1 and 2 back in regards to like the first and second down.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Deshaun Watson. What's your thoughts on the Deshaun Watson situation?
So let me put a disclaimer, right? Because I don't want to get canceled. Like I don't think this is a free internship for both me and Lloyd, and I don't want to get canceled. So I want to put a disclaimer out there and simply saying we're not here to judge the ethics of what he's done, right? Yeah. But I just think we could talk about the optics of it. Yeah. I think a couple of things. I think one, I think the Browns acted really negligent. And I would say that from a branding perspective, but also a business perspective in regards to they clearly didn't do their due diligence into it. They also they made his contract fully guaranteed, which was like at the time unheard of for somebody with all of the pending issues that he had. And also the way they structured it was kind of like prepared for year one for him not to pay. Like it's just ethically, I will say that. Like again, I'm not going to talk about whether or not he did it. I'm not getting into like I'm not.
No. We talking strictly football. Yeah, strictly
right. We're just talking about just strictly football and the business of it. Like I just think it was just I think for me, it just continues to show me that the Browns are just a poorly managed organization. Yeah. Like, and it continues to be the case.
Yeah, me personally, he's not worth $230 million guaranteed. But hey, kudos to his agent. Oh man.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Woof. For you to get that.
Shoot, I think Lloyd and I are going to talk to his agent, try to get paid for this podcast.
So no, but sticking to the topic, I don't think he's worth it. I like Deshaun Watson, but was he $230 million guaranteed? Absolutely not. But now, because of this contract, now it's set the stage. Now they're talking about Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. The only quarterbacks that should maybe even close to get $230 million, I would say Mahomes. I wouldn't argue that. Obviously, Brady just off achievements and stuff like that. But some of these other guys, I'm sorry, I think Deshaun only has one playoff win, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he only has one.
Yeah, I mean, listen, before because I'm so proud of Lloyd, by the way, because I thought he was gonna go down to the Lamar Jackson one-way street, but he didn't. The part that I continue to just be completely like kerfluffled with is like, not only did they sign Deshaun Watson to this really contract without doing the due diligence and lock him in, but you also had Baker Mayfield still signed at that point in time, right? Like it was just it was. So you then had I think it was $50 million, and just the quarterback position. It was just a bad move, and how they handled it and all. I just think again the Browns have to manage and run things better because it just continues to be a really terribly ran organization. And I guess the only comparable that I can think of right now is probably the Cowboys, but I think it's only because everybody wants to get on Jerry Jones, but even they wouldn't make such a move again in one slot in a position, right? It's just the Browns being the Browns.
Yeah, and just to pick up on what Gene said, I'm be honest with you, I'm not a Baker Mayfield, but they did him greasy. Because at the end of the day, I'm be honest with you, he still got them to a winning record. Yes, he's not the greatest quarterback, but he still got them a winning record. At least he gave them some kind of urgency. So for you to do him like that, and even he's like, damn, y'all didn't even inform me. One day y'all just said okay, we just signed Deshaun Watson. It was wow, okay, you could have gave me a heads up, yo, listen, Baker. He's been here for 4 or 5. Sorry, it was going into his 5th year. Yep. And the funny they took on the 5th year option. He's like, listen, we're thinking about Deshaun, but we just want to give out. He was like, no, we just going to sign him because what it was is that, and the funny thing is that he was going to sign with the Falcons originally. Because remember, it was between them and the Falcons. But what ended up happening, Cleveland last minute gave more money
and guaranteed it.
And it was okay, well, last minute, I'm going to Cleveland because he's going to go to Atlanta because he's from Atlanta.
That's correct. And he had all the rap stars out.
Yes.
They matter. No, they matter.
Now on the Sun, you see him on TV I always loved Cleveland. BS.
Nobody likes Cleveland. Nobody like Joe Kim Noah. What is there to do?
Nothing to do with Cleveland. But I get it. Listen, but I get it. But at the end of the day, and this is the thing is with Cleveland. You know what it is with Cleveland? They wanted to pop, so they just overpay. It's 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 like that shiny toy. Okay, I'm gonna overpay for it. But now it messes up because now the QB market is ridiculous.
Well, before we go to the Deshaun Watson thing, I like Deshaun, and I think that once you surround him with some talent, like you see, he had Hopkins over there and the rest of the boys. He was able to be decent over there in Houston with what he had.
Yeah, but who's the talent you surround him with in Cleveland?
Well, I mean,
Amari Cooper.
He'll make Amari Cooper better.
Amari Cooper?
Yeah. Amari Cooper's going to struggle now over there.
Let me just get this right. I'm putting you in the hot seat.
Yeah,
you said Deshaun. You said Hopkins, and then we compared him to Amari Cooper right now.
Well, the thing about it, I like what the head coach is doing over there. They have to, depends when he comes back how the situation is. He has 2 good running backs over there, and he has other pieces over there as well.
Well, but Hunt's not even in camp though.
They still have Chubb over there.
No, I get what you're saying. Listen, I don't want to get kicked off this podcast prematurely, but I'm just saying to you, I just think, I think you're right. Hopkins like a Calvin Johnson to me. They're like a freak of nature when they were younger. So, so it's kind of like an asterisk. Mm-hmm. So I can't give Deshaun Watson credit for that. I can't give him credit for that talent. I do think Amari Cooper is a decent route runner at stage in his career, but I don't think he's a game changer.
My thing is Amari Cooper. He's talented, but he's not consistent. He'll give you a game where it's over 200 yards, and then the next 3 games is 40 yards. Like what happened? Yeah. It's the inconsistency.
Let me ask you this question, right? We got Watson and we got Josh Allen, right? You don't think Watson is just as good as Josh Allen?
I think it's hard for me. I haven't seen Watson play in a year. I think in that period of time, Josh Allen's boomed.
He has boomed.
Josh Allen's improved a lot.
He has boomed. Amari Watson. I think he's better accurate thrower than Josh Allen. Josh Allen's getting better. He's better thrower, and he can scramble as well.
Can I just say one quick? I think you're setting us up here.
I'm not setting you up.
You have a Bills hat on. No, you are. It's a complete setup. You have a Bills hat on. You're trying to for once, Lloyd and I agree on something. You're like, no. This is. I'm telling you, Josh Allen is. Listen, I think Josh Allen. In fairness to Josh Allen, it's so hard considering if you could look at Josh Allen 2 years ago versus what he is now. He's developed so much much in that time, and that whole time we haven't seen Watson.
Yeah, and you could tell he worked on his game because he knew accuracy was the biggest thing. And let me tell you something. I was impressed by that Chiefs game. It was just unfortunate they lost.
Oh my God, that's actually one of the best. Yes. In fairness, give me a game in our lifetime that's actually been the most
like the man played flawless. Like you couldn't play any better.
Yeah. All right, so check this out, right?
Go ahead.
We all agree that he has better accuracy than Josh Allen. We all agree that he can scramble just as good as Josh Allen, right? Only thing that's made a difference in Josh Allen's career, he's gotten better, yes, but we surround him with weapons. So if you put Watson on the Bills, you don't think he'll be successful?
Well, in fairness to Josh Allen, though, your offensive line has just gotten decent.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so in fairness to Josh Allen,
and you got to remember the Bills don't exactly have a running game, so they throw a lot.
Absolutely, he's absolutely correct.
They don't have a great running game. That's why they picked up the little brother Cook, the little brother, to give him some type of a pop. And that's my only thing with the Bills, because obviously they did Super Bowl favorites, but you kind of need a running game. You don't want Josh Allen just throwing constantly all the time.
Especially in that Buffalo weather, no offense, because you guys probably get home field advantage. Like, if the weather's bad, you need a running game.
But this is why they got somebody like Josh Allen, because his arm is ridiculous. He could just sling that thing right through the cold weather.
All I'm going to say is that Deshaun Watson is top 5 quarterback to me. He's a top 5.
Give me your top 5.
Nah, I can't say that, man.
Hold on, we going to get to that's a question.
Is that really? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to take your role.
How much you think Lamar Jackson's worth? Or should we get into the deal?
Oh God! Can I just go first? I just want to go first because I just want to get it out the way.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I think when you guarantee Watson's contract, I think when you look at what people like Cousins and Carr is making, like I think it's hard for you not to pay Lamar Jackson, considering that offense is built around his abilities. Right, in terms of
what is his ability?
His ability to run and scramble and to create thing out of nothing. Like, think about it. Like, he's never had a really great receiver. Like, and the Ravens have always been in a that division's always been super tough. Right, between the Browns, the Steelers, like Cincinnati, like it's always been super tough. Like they've always been. And again, I will back up and let you go, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm only saying you're going. I hear your point earlier today, which was the fact that like not many quarterbacks should be making what they're making, but that is the market. It's the equivalency of saying, yeah, I shouldn't pay for this gas, but if every gas station around is charging that amount, like if I'm a gas station, like I have to keep up with the supply and demand.
Okay, Gene. So, honest question: how much, if you were GM, how much do you think Lamar Jackson is worth, fully guaranteed, as far as a contract? Well, or I'll make it simpler. Okay. How much should he be making per year? Right now, currently, Aaron Rodgers makes $50 million a year. He's the highest.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
I mean, I think you're looking at least $40 million at minimum.
Nah, you know he's gonna want a little bit more.
But I'm saying to you. So again, listen,
give me like
a real number. I think annually will probably work out to like $51 million. Like he must be the highest paid. And I think again, different. Listen, so Aaron Rodgers, great example, right? Great. Let's talk about like not the person. Let's talk about the offense, right? Okay. They have a running game. They can hand the ball off. They Adams is gone. We don't know what the passing game looks like. Yeah. Like that offense on the Ravens, like. It's all Deshaun Watson. Like, even the running backs aren't that good. Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. Even the running backs aren't that good. Like, they don't get 1,000-yard running backs, except for Ingram, which was 2 years ago. And that was by accident.
Well, yeah, because he's the one that's running 1,000 yards.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm simply saying. But he's like, if you look at like, I'm trying to think of like a stat to think about, but like how much of the offense is catered to him and tailored around his abilities, his mobility. Yeah. Like, it has to be like the highest like user rate of anybody in the NFL.
Okay, got you. Well,
so what do you think? So don't leave. Like clearly, I've overspent.
No. Me personally, I know a lot of people think I hate Lamar,
but because you do.
No, I don't. No, I don't, sir. I don't hate no quarterback. This is how I look at Lamar. Lamar, to me, he's a top 5 running quarterback. He's a running back. He's a top 5 running back. That's how I look at him. He's not a top 5 quarterback to me, because the thing is, at the end of the day, you have to be able to throw the ball eventually. Eventually, you got to throw the ball. And he's been exposed quite a few times when you just like, for instance, everybody gets on the offensive coordinator. You know the reason why the offensive coordinator always calling him running plays? Because he knows at the end he's limited throwing. Not to say he can't throw, but he's limited. He is limited throwing. We see it all the time. And I kept on saying this. Even last year, I'm like, all this running is going to come back to haunt you eventually. Yeah. The man has rushed for 1,000 yards 2 straight years. It would have been 3 straight if he didn't get injured. I am not. So you want me to pay you $50 million, right? You want to be the highest paid quarterback to run the ball for over 1,000. So why the hell we got 3 running backs on our roster for when you the one running all the time?
So question for you. Talent, based on talent. Who's a better talent? Vic or Lamar Jackson in Vic's heyday?
That's a good one.
Vic.
Why?
Because Vic actually throw the ball. Vic got an arm. He wasn't accurate, but he had an arm.
Yeah, but Lamar has an arm too. It's the accuracy issue. Who you say?
But I would say this. But just like with Michael Vick with Lamar, I think Michael Vick had the bigger arm. But the problem is that their accuracy wasn't good.
Correct.
Right? But what I'm saying with Lamar is that at the end of the day, all right, I don't know if y'all remember this game. Well, y'all should remember it. The year that he won the unanimous MVP, right, in 2019. Mm-hmm. Now, the game, they were the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. Yep. They went against the Titans. Mm-hmm. I hope y'all remember this. He went against the Titans, right? Yep. The Titans played that game strategically, like, okay, we're going to stack the box where you can't run. We're going to make you throw. You can look up the stats. He threw for over 40 times, right? Because everybody's talking about, they keep making him run all the time. Why don't you throw some passing plays? So they said, all right, cool, this is what we're going to do. He threw for 48 times. He threw 2 bad interceptions in that game, and he only threw 2 touchdowns.
Who's his receiver? Who's that number 1 receiver at that time?
No,
it was an older gentleman too. I forget his name.
I know.
The Ravens. It was
Hollywood or whatever. But my thing is, at the end of the day, if you're gonna be the best player, you gotta make it work.
Was it Bolden?
No, Bolden wasn't there. That was Joe Flacco days.
Okay, yeah. Right.
But anyway, that's not but we're not playing it. But we're not playing this game because they were the number 1 overall seed. So clearly, the wide receivers was decent. And another thing is, right? Everybody keeps saying that, they don't have no plays, they don't have no great wide receivers.
That's what I was saying.
Here's my thing, right? Look how many from the past 2 years. Look how many free agent wide receivers, right? This man's cool with all these wide receivers, right? Or players in the league, they love him, right? My thing is, all these wide receivers on free agents. Why none of them never wanted to go to Baltimore? Why they want to go to the Packers and this other
Who
team?
goes to the Packers? The Packers. I
mean, I was just throwing them out there.
Other teams. Aaron Rodgers would be super excited if that was the case.
No, like the Buccaneers and all these other teams. Jacksonville. The teams rather go to Jacksonville. Why nobody want to play? Know why?
Because of money. They offer more money.
No, because I've seen some where they didn't even get paid a lot. But you know why? Because they know at the end of Lamar, like, it's a running offense. I'm not going to get the ball like that. And you got to remember, as a wide receiver, I want to get catches. At the end of the day,
I just think he had to get more weapons. Once he gets more weapons, you'll see how good he is. Got to get more weapons.
I'll put it to you this way: Lamar Jackson, to me, is what if I'm the Ravens, I'm like, listen. Kyler Murray got like 170 million guys. I'm like, listen, just to make it fair, we'll give you 190. Call it a day, take it or leave it. But I can't give you 230 just because the Browns are stupid enough to give him 200. We don't even deserve that, by the way. Mahomes is not even getting 230 million all guaranteed. And you gonna get it?
And by the way, you do know that I don't know if you remember. It makes sense now. The Ravens offensive coordinator, he's a running offensive coordinator. We had him in Buffalo at one point. He was horrible. Let me ask
you. If Tom Brady is on the Ravens, is that still a running offense?
It's Tom Brady. No, you got to build the offense around the quarterback.
All right, for the strengths, right?
Yeah, but
offensive coordinator, knows. And you remember, he's just the offensive coordinator. He's not the head coach. It's Harbaugh at the end of the day. You don't think Harbaugh would be like, hey, listen, like, let's throw a little more passing, because Harbaugh even knows, like, yeah.
Greg Roman is his name. Greg Roman.
But it's not his strong. But again, let me just say, you talked about 2020, right? Was the team that you were talking about?
2019, sorry.
2019. Oh, shucks. I had the 20. I had what you call it. I was going to tell you who the receivers were on that team.
2019.
Just so you again, just to give it to you, I can still give you the 2019 receivers. Okay. So you're looking at Snead, Boykins, Brown, Seth Roberts, who's with the Redskins at one point. Okay. Hayden Hurst and Nick Boyle were the top receivers for the.
And somehow they were the number 1 overall.
Because of Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Because Lamar. That was MVP for
Lamar. Wait. Wasn't that the year he threw for how many touchdowns? It was like a good 30, 40 touchdowns or something like that?
I agree with you.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
If you give Lamar Jackson the weapons that Josh Allen has now, do you think he succeeds?
Not how Josh Allen is.
No, because the thing, because Josh Allen's too far advanced.
Because the thing is, Josh Allen's a natural passer who can run. The thing is with Lamar, how I separate quarterbacks is that you have to be able to throw these wide receivers open. I've never seen Lamar do that.
But my thing is this.
Because a lot of times, in the NFL, right, these wide receivers are covered like this. You literally have to, as soon as they come out the break, you have to throw them open.
But listen, defense have to play you differently. Once you have weapons, once you have good wide receivers and a good tight end, now you don't know if he's going to throw it or he's going to pass it. It's like a double threat now. You know, you get where I'm coming from?
Listen, I think
you still have to guard the wide. You have to play. You still have to play. If you have. All right. Let's say you have Adams on one side and you have a decent wide receiver on the next side.
Okay.
Those guys are going deep. Now you're bringing the defense deep, right? Mm-hmm. If Lamar Jackson doesn't see anything open, he takes off now. But more people are scheming the Ravens based on knowing that Hollywood Brown, these other guys are not good wide receivers, so they're playing the box more. They're playing up closer a little bit more.
But the reason why you're the quarterback, we all know this, the quarterback gets the most blame and you get the most praise at the end of the day. This is why you as a quarterback, even if you got quote unquote mediocre wide receivers, you come to them like, yo, listen, this is how I need you to do this, I need you to do that. This is what you're supposed to do. I understand everybody's not going to get stud wide receivers, but this is why you got to work with them constantly. Like, yo, guys, listen, fellas. I ain't never seen Lamar. I ain't never seen Lamar Jackson or offseason like, yo, listen, guys.
Hold on.
No.
You hang out with them. That's your peers.
No. Come on.
Please move on.
Let's move on.
Like you hang out with them.
I just said you got to give them more talent.
I just looked on Instagram. Lamar Jackson not following you back. Neither is none of these guys. There's no way you could tell me because he's not hanging out with them in the offseason. How do you know?
I just think got to give him more talent. That's it. Just give him a nice stud wide receiver.
Right. I'm glad we're doing this podcast. Y'all quote me. Lamar, Tua, and Jalen. Yeah. So just know how I feel about that.
Now you have a great point.
Okay.
They have a lot to prove, though. They have a lot to prove.
Running quarterbacks don't win you Super Bowls.
All right. Give me your top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now.
Yeah, you start first.
Oh God. Based off of what though?
That's yeah. I was gonna say shoot. Just based off of a talent. What's your talent? What should we say? Because like you go based off achievements, talent, because then the changes.
All right, I'll do mine. And I'm not going to put Brady in this. I'm not going to put Brady. I'm just put like right now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, but Brady's another stratosphere. That's why I really don't put him over there. And there's no particular order. This is my top 5 top of the head. Justin Herbert, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. And one more. I really sit down, think.
Aaron Rodgers?
Nah, he's old and stuff. I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers is a little bit overrated too. I'm sorry, he can't win in the playoffs. But I'm talking like kind of like newish kind of guys. There's another one. 5. Give me another 5.
Not put Lamar in there. He's your top 5, man.
He's a top 5 running back to me. You know how I feel about that. Damn, I can't think of the 5th one. Yeah, damn. I really can't think about it.
All right. Gene, how about you, Gene?
So, what's the criteria again?
Like, it's right now.
Yeah.
So, I would say, in no equivalent order, I would probably say you have Mahomes, Josh Allen. I would put Lamar there and Justin Herbert.
That's 4.
No more.
Yeah, I was kind of stuck too at the 5th one. Yeah, me too.
I'm thinking Joe Burrow, but I think that's a lot of recency bias. But I'll just put Brady there. I'll put Brady there because, in fairness to him, he was a Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Shit, I might as well put Brady.
No. I mean, think about it. So, for example, listen. I think there's a lot of people who currently have the Bucs not making the playoffs this year. Fair, but would it be crazy if they made it? Would it be crazy if they had a deep run? Like, it wouldn't be. Like, I mean, and Brady's still Brady. Like, he's gonna throw over 5,000 yards, right? Like, he is still efficient. Like, and again, I think it's hard for you not to put him in there. What is interesting though, he's gonna be 45 years old to start the season. Yeah. That offensive line I feel like every day someone is getting hurt from that offensive line. Yeah. So if Brady's able to have a decent year this year, listen, he's the GOAT regardless. I mean, he could have a crappy year and still be the GOAT. But I think you got to put him in your top 5.
Yeah. Oh no, he is in my top 5. I was just trying to be like somebody new, like the new up and comers. I wasn't trying to put him, but Brady's always my number 1 guy.
Yeah. I mean, I was torn between Joe Burrow and also Brady. I mean, I'm clearly have an LSU bias, but I do think Joe Burrow did it literally he had one good stretch, one season. Like, it'd be great to see it again for him to do it, but like Brady's always done it. Brady was in the playoffs last year. He won the Super Bowl the year before. Like, I mean, let's not talk about rings. I mean, you got to put him in there.
Yeah. Top 5 wide receivers.
Ooh. So that one, I can go Justin Jefferson, completely biased. I think the kid,
stud.
Cooper Kupp,
stud.
Who has just
and not cutting you, but he's an underrated route runner. Oh my God, that game.
Cooper Kupp, absolutely.
Did you see?
He's probably one of the best route runners in the game.
I don't know if y'all watched that playoff game with Tampa Bay. Oh my God, if you see this one move, if you see this route that he ran on one of the I think it was on Carlton Davis. Oh my God, he did like literally a little crossover. I was just like, oh my God.
No,
sorry.
No, you got to give it to Cooper Kupp. Yeah. So, Devontae Adams is definitely on that list. Stephon Diggs is on that list currently. My 5th, I'm trying not to put Chase in because he only did 1 year.
D-Hop.
D-Hop's been on a regression though.
Yeah.
How about Evans? Y'all like Evans?
He's consistent.
You can give Mike. I mean, you can put Mike Evans in. Right? Because he's 1,000. He's at 1,000
for like 8 seasons.
Yeah, every season he's at 1,000.
He's just quiet about it.
Yeah, he's super quiet, but he's brolic or whatever. I mean, listen, I think. Listen, I think everybody naturally would say Chase, but I think that's kind of he just did it in 1 year. He had a phenomenal year, and it was fun.
Yeah, I agree. You need another year. But as far as potential,
No. As your college quarterback, like you know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah.
Top 5 running backs now.
I'll let Lloyd go.
Running backs right now. I love Christian McCaffrey. I know he's been injured these past, but I've told you before. To me, I think he's the modern day Marshall Faulk. Like, I mean, to be able to run, catch, without injuries, I think he's a stud. But I still put Christian McCaffrey. I put Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, of course. Modern day Eric Dickerson. Let me see, number 3. Who else?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, but he was only 1 year though. That's why I ain't throwing him in.
I know, but this is where I think it's a little different. And let me just be honest. Don't forget, running backs get used up very early on in their career, and then from there they expire. Versus like wide receivers, like you could play till like later on.
That's true.
So that's why. So it's funny you say that because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, damn, because I may want to put Najee on this list, but I don't necessarily know. So I'd put Jonathan Taylor. You got to put Derrick Henry before Derrick Henry got hurt. By the way, he was going to be he's projected to fit.
I forgot.
Sorry, Lloyd.
That.
My fault.
I agree.
Too soon.
No.
Too soon. Yeah, too soon. My fault.
But the funny thing with Derrick Henry, when he got injured in I think it was week 9, he was already up 920 yards.
Yeah.
You know, Jonathan Taylor didn't pass him till week 12.
Yeah.
He didn't play 3 games. He was still number 2.
That's
right?
correct.
I was like, what?
Yeah, that was
crazy.
I was like, wow, that's crazy.
That was crazy.
That's right. And I probably put Alvin Kamara as my last person.
Okay.
I just think when you look at what he's done year over year, I mean, obviously he's had the fortunate of playing with Drew Brees, but he, in terms of when you look at running backs, I mean, he is a Swiss Army knife in a lot of ways, and especially in open field.
Yeah.
Give me a player that's overhyped and overrated in the NFL.
Overhyped and overrated.
I mean, that overhyped is basically like overrated, basically.
Yeah.
Someone who's
overrated.
Somebody who's overrated.
I mean, someone you can think about. Yeah, about that everyone is going crazy about. But like, chill, pump your brakes.
You got one?
I want to.
Overrated.
No. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I really got.
All right, how about one that's underrated that people are not giving a lot of credit to?
Even that one's hard.
Hunter Renfrow.
Yes,
Hunter Renfrow.
That's a good one.
Hunter Renfrow. I think.
And I pick him up in my draft.
I don't have many in league, but Hunter Renfrow. Listen, I think people look at his physique, and he probably looks like he's a librarian. But like, yo, man, when you look at what he's done, and when you look at what what other cornerbacks say about him, like when people say who's one of the top wide receivers, a guard,
slot.
A lot of people say Hunter Renfrow because it's hard to hold and contain. Like, I mean, you're not getting him off that 5. Like you're not pitching him off that 5, right? Like
it's that Julian Edelman concept. It's like they don't look fast, but then they could run. Like they get open, and they're not fast. You're like, how are you always open? And you're not even a fast runner. I agree with that one.
He's just technically really good.
Overhyped, I would think.
You say Lamar Jackson, and you probably think
I was surprised. It's so funny.
I
I was actually expecting him to say Lamar Jackson. That's why I was actually quite surprised.
How about Debo Samuel? A lot of people think Debo Samuel's overrated. How about Debo?
Yes.
I think
I think he's a little overhyped.
I wouldn't even go Debo. I'd go Trey Lance.
Yeah,
He hasn't done anything.
Everybody's everyone. Yes, everyone's talking about like Trey Lance. Like for someone. First of all, they kept Jimmy G on a very friendly deal for a freaking reason. Everyone is losing their mind talking about Trey Lance could be a top 5 wide receiver. And again, I'm quarterback. Sorry, I know we're talking fantasy.
No, you go.
But like there's a good chance he is not the starter come week 4.
Yeah,
well, the thing is, but you got to remember they gave up a lot to get him. So this is why they have to kind of speak it into existence. Like, yo, listen, because you have to remember, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they have to vouch for that. You gave up picks and all stuff like that. Like, yo, we got to vouch. So, like, listen, bro, this is your team. Like this year, like this is it.
Yeah, but the concern is he played the last preseason game, and I'm so sorry to not let you go. He played the last preseason game until the second quarter. He only threw like 74 yards.
Yeah,
like he was playing against backups, and like that's the part for me. I'm like,
me personally, I don't see it. To me, he's another running quarterback.
Sorry, I kind of laid that one up for you.
Yeah, he's another running quarterback. Like I personally don't see it. I know. Listen, Jimmy Garoppolo is safe. I know he's another one. He don't get you to promising, but listen, say what you want. He did go toe to toe with Mahomes in
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in the Super Bowl. Even though he did miss that throw though. So you got to hit that throw at the end of the day. So yeah.
Which team should we be looking out for? That's dangerous this year in the NFL. It's gonna make a lot of noise.
The Chargers.
Yes, I was actually saying that. I was actually going to say that.
Chargers.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, they have to. They have to.
They don't have to because they still have Herbert in the rookie deal.
No, they have to make some noise. You got to at least get into the playoffs. You got to make some noise.
Well, listen. I think the reason I'm saying that is because typically they're in a really great situation. They have their quarterback on his rookie deal, right? So they're able to really load up and add up. They got Mac now, in other parts and pieces. I just think when you look at Justin
and also J.C. Jackson, he picked up that corner.
Correct.
Yeah,
that's right. And Derwin James got paid as well this past summer. Listen, I think when you look at Josh Allen's progression, I think the only other person that you can think of in the last 5 years who's done similarly or is who's on the same
Justin.
Yeah, who's on the same pathway as Justin Herbert.
You got it.
Like, so, I mean, I think they might be a really scary team, especially considering, I mean, you still have Keenan Allen over there. Mike Williams finally showed up last year. Austin Eckler. And then you also have, I like the rookie that they drafted, Spiller, by the way, FYI. So I just think that, again, going back to what I said earlier, foreshadowing, I think they're in the toughest.
The gauntlet, man.
That is, if they were anywhere else, they should be Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah, NFC East.
Right, like that. But again, like they're in a tough position. But I still think like Justin Herbert has just shown so much tremendous like growth.
Yeah.
How about Denver? I like Denver. What do you think about Denver, guys?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Russell Wilson's on the hot seat.
I can see that.
I'm sorry. The thing is with Russell Wilson, I like him, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Ever since that Legion of Boom, which did carry him, and I agree with Sherman. Sherman had said this at the end of the day, because he literally, when it was with Seattle, at the end of the day, Pete Carroll, he literally built that team. He's like, okay, we're gonna get rid of all these guys. I'm gonna make it your team. What has he done? Yeah, they got into playoffs. You're getting bounced out at the end of the day. And my thing is with Russell Wilson, he starts up red hot, like the first 6-7 games, red hot. But then, the second half of the season, I don't know what happens. He just drifts down. Yeah. You got a lot to prove. Yeah. Now ain't no more excuses. You're in Denver. You got running backs. You got wide receivers. You got a defense. It is strictly you now. Ain't no more excuses. And I know he's talking about, now he wants to get a big contract too. Like after this year, he wants to get a big contract. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
No,
and one thing with those fans in Denver, because ain't nothing really wrong with Denver.
Absolutely.
So it's Bronco land. So they want to know, like, okay, listen, we did all these trades, yada yada yada. What are you going to do? Because you got to remember that's still the house of Elway and Peyton Manning. They still trying to fill their shoes. So you got a lot to prove.
Denver Broncos, let's ride.
No, I think Lloyd's right. I just think I think Russell hasn't shown much. And I think Sherman and company were upset because they didn't get paid the way Russell did, considering they felt like they really.
So you think they felt salty?
I think definitely, absolutely. I mean, look at all of them. Earl Thomas. Look how they handled all of those guys, though. Except for Bobby Wagner. I mean, they handled all those guys poorly at the end of the
Bobby
career.
Wagner to some degree too. They just let him go like he wasn't.
Well, I think they did that because they was like not competing, giving him a chance to go win somewhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Give me your Super Bowl predictions. I know it's early.
Bills. Because I could see the Chargers. I could see the Chargers going, and not the Bills. But I'm going to say Bills, and I could see the Rams. I just think the Rams. I mean, honestly, if Stafford plays healthy, I think people sleep on Allen Robinson being signed over there.
Let me tell you something. That is going to be beneficial, man. Because let me tell you something. Cooper Kupp is going to take. And remember, Allen. And I love Robert Woods, but Allen Robinson is nice. It's only because he was in Chicago.
Facts. And before that, he was good until last year in Chicago.
No, but not only that. Remember, he was with Jacksonville first.
Yeah.
That's when Blake Bortles. He was good. He had 1,000 yards receiving, but Jackson. It's another messed up organization. Right. Then he goes to another messed up organization. You with the Rams? That's going to open it up huge for him.
I agree.
Are you guys concerned about Stafford's arm? They said something about his arm or something like that.
I think he'd be fine.
I'm concerned about it. I'm quite honestly. For me, if they don't have Stafford, like I think that impacts them. I mean, I think it's going to be hard for them to get past that. Honestly, I mean, their schedule's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Best coach in the NFL right now.
Thomason. He's never finished below 500.
I was going to say the same thing.
No, I disagree with that.
Yeah? What do you think?
The best coach right now.
He gets his plays.
I probably got to say McVay, man. I like McVay, man. I like how he. You know what? I like
recency bias.
No, it's not recency bias. I'm not
recency bias.
I'm not. No, it's not recency. But if you look at it like consistency, I know before this review, but I like his mindset. You know what I'm saying? Remember, he's younger. He's like our age.
Yeah,
that's inspiring. Yo, let me tell you something. The man knows offense.
Yeah, but Thomason, in fairness, like he's done it so consistent for so long.
He's done a lot with less too.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you see, I'm not giving trophies for making the playoffs and then you getting bounced out. Yes, I understand he has an over 500, but where has it gotten him?
But he's won a Super Bowl.
He's won a Super Bowl, yeah.
And how long ago that was?
No, but he's won a Super Bowl.
How long ago was that?
No, but in fairness, like we don't know about McVay just because he won one last year.
I'm saying, but how long ago that was? See, we got this revisions. It's just like when I ask people all the time with Aaron Rodgers. Last time he won was in 2009. If you're gonna be this great head coach. Okay, you're getting us to play, but you keep getting bounced out. What's the whole purpose of that?
Okay, but you can see
and not that. You gotta remember, Steelers are a franchise, a team of a franchise team. I meant to say, right. My thing is that you're playing for Super Bowls, but every minute, and I think the thing is with Mike is that I feel like. He's not like right now. The Steelers' offensive line is terrible.
Yeah,
they're terrible.
They've been terrible for years, by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And my thing is, you as a head coach, you got to start improving on that. You got to start getting better. Yes, and they drop excellent wide receivers. I don't know what it is. That's like wide receiver 101. I don't know what it is. They just find wide receivers.
Linebackers also, by the way.
Linebackers too. I give you that too. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is that what have you done? You got to get the quarterback right. And I think the only thing is with Mike, I felt like you knew. Ben was going downhill 3-4 years ago. You should have drafted one of these quarterbacks and just sat him. You know what I'm saying? But you kept on riding Ben and Ben and Ben. Now you got Mason Rudolph, this kid from Pitt, or that people like. I don't think he's all that. Me personally.
I mean, he's done it for a while, and he's won a Super Bowl. I know he hasn't won in a while.
And Haskins also.
McVay just won, so you got to see now. You can't really compare him now. You got to see in 10 years if McVay only wins one, and how consistent is he going to be?
But look at the steps that he took. Went from winning the playoff win, then got to a championship round, and then now a Super Bowl. So he's making progress. And a lot of people came from his tree. The guy from the head coach from the Bengals is from his coaching tree. The guy from the Chargers is from his coaching tree.
Can I just say something to you though?
Go ahead.
In the last 5 years, what team would you say, talent-wise, has had the most talent on a roster?
That's kind of.
It has to be that team last year, right? Like look at that team last year. First of all, Aaron Donald is the best defensive lineman that I've probably ever seen in my life, like as an adult.
I'm going to say
as an adult, because LT, but as an adult. But do you he won the Super Bowl last year? FYI, who won the Super Bowl last year for them? It was that.
No, I didn't say anything.
You sat back. That's just, on a podcast, when you sit back, that's like you want to fight.
No.
That's what it felt like to me. Like you.
No.
You can't take Aaron Donald away. Jalen Ramsey. I'm not as high on Jalen Ramsey as everybody else is. But again, when you look at quarterbacks, he's top quarterback in the league or whatever. They had Odell Beckham, like who, by the way, had he not gotten hurt, Odell Beckham probably would have finished the game as the MVP because he already had the touchdown, like in the first quarter, right? Like, so again, when you look at that team, Von Miller was on there. Like when you look at the talent that they added, like I like McVay, and I'm not taking away from him.
But why did they want to get there? Because of McVay? Because McVay don't work.
It wasn't because of that. It was because they had so much money already invested in the team. This was a win. It was nothing. It was all or nothing for them.
No, I get all that, but still, when players are coming to a team, I understand money has to play a part, but it's also like the system, how the coaches.
It's also LA.
Because if that's the case, why nobody coming to New England?
It's also LA. Wait. What did you? Yo, I need you to censor this. You're comparing New England to LA from a destination. And stop for a second.
No, I'm talking about as far as a winning organization and a proven
But there's a tyrant over there in New England. But no player in this day and age. No offense. No player in this day and age wants to go live with their parents. That's what it is like going to be in New England. Am I lying?
But it's structure.
It's the Belichick way.
All right,
who wants that?
Okay, but you need structure. It can't be all fun and games all the damn time.
I hear you, man.
No.
You're gonna make a great dad. You are gonna make a great dad.
No, but don't get me wrong. You know, I'm a little shaky on Belichick too and some of his decisions. I get it.
Yeah,
but
someone's going there.
But I understand
that. And Belichick doesn't even want those kind of players.
But you gotta remember, at one point Odell did want to go there, but that's when Brady was there.
Yeah, but what happened? So when Odell had several opportunities last year, the Patriots never inquired about Odell like that.
Because Brady ain't there. The reason why he wanted to go there is because of Brady. I know,
but I'm saying, but the Patriots also didn't check it. Like what I'm saying to you, like the Patriot way, the Patriot is not looking for Von Miller. The Patriots don't look to make big splashes. Like they believe in like that in the like talent. Right? Like so it's not a
they don't want to spend money. Yeah, they don't want to spend money.
And no offense, and I'm no disrespect. Like in the middle of December or January, do I want to be in New England or do I want to be in LA? Like, are you serious?
Well, damn, do I want to be in Buffalo either? But they winning.
Fair enough.
No, you gotta be like, if you winning, you're gonna deal with it. Like, because when you're a player, right, and especially you're an older veteran, I want to win a damn ring. I want to win a ring.
I hear you.
Okay, let's wrap it up. How about Andy Reid? What do you guys thoughts on Andy Reid?
I'm happy he won. I'm happy he won a championship. I think you can't take away from his legacy for what he did with those Philly teams going to the finals those many years. Andy Reid. Who would I compare Andy Reid to in the NBA or another sport?
I think he's a brilliant offensive mind. Clearly. I think sometimes he gets beside himself a little bit though, because you can see what Patrick Mahomes got. He gets a little loosey goosey, reckless from time to time. You know, letting Mahomes throw behind the back passes and all this crap like that.
You think he finally got over the hump after coming to Kansas City? Because remember, in Philly, he was always going far. But
I would say this: I think the one championship solidified him to be a Hall of Fame. But prior to that, he was just a really, really great offensive coordinator that couldn't get the job done. But the one ring helped him a lot.
Oh, but I think so. The only question mark I throw there at you is that I think, going to 3 straight division championships. I think that also, and so I think that's in some ways really helped his legacy as well with the New England. With the Phillies.
How about Pete Carroll? You think it's time for him to retire? What do you think about his legacy?
I think it's unclear to me what happened with him and Russell Wilson. Like it feels like to me Pete's starting to lose touch with the younger kids.
And his ego at the end of the day. Because you got to remember, after that owner died, now everything is on Pete Carroll at the end of the day. So now he caused the shot over there and with everything. And let's be honest with you, people like Pete Carroll and stuff like that, it's an ego kind of thing. It's like, man, listen. And it's just like with Belichick.
Okay.
It's just like with Belichick. It's an ego thing. It's like, listen, if we win, Russ, I know you good, but at the end, it's me. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm the one that got your team. Look at my Legion of Boom. I put that together. Remember, because Pete is naturally a defensive-minded coach. Yeah. Remember, because he came from the college. Remember, he's a USC coach and came over there. So.
You think he'll stick around for the rebuild, or he's gonna bail out after the season?
I'm not gonna lie,
goes down.
I'm not gonna lie. Pete Carroll look good, man. He's like 71 years old. He moving.
He looks really good though.
For 71, he's the oldest coach. Yeah. I thought Belichick was older, but he's actually older.
No, and the thing I was thinking about Pete Carroll was like 3 years ago when he took his shirt off when he got DJ.
That was funny. Yeah. He looked good though. He looked good.
He did.
He looked good.
All right, guys, wrapping this up. So, any final thoughts?
I want y'all to book it about my quarterbacks. I keep telling y'all, these running quarterbacks, and I know it's controversial, these running quarterbacks do not win you championships. At the end of the day, you have to be able to throw the ball. I don't have nothing against, melanated quarterbacks at the end of the day. I feel like that's like, oh, you got something. No, it's not. I view every player like how like a GM. At the end of the day, and I go by a certain standard. Like if you won MVPs, okay, now the echelon that moved up. You know what I'm saying? You win the United MVP, okay, good. Now you have to upstep that, and I do the same thing with Brady. Brady has played terrible many guys. I'm like, you're like, what are you doing? You're trash. Like, what are you doing?
So, question for you.
Okay.
Is Mahomes a running quarterback in your opinion? Yes, no.
No.
Josh Allen a running quarterback in your opinion? Yes, no.
Josh Allen. No.
I think that just shows your bias. I think you're just saying no.
No, it doesn't. I think you're saying no because I knew he was going to bring this up. I knew he was going to bring this up. Josh Allen last year
because you were prepared for this podcast. I wasn't prepared. I know you were going to be here.
No, actually, I didn't know he was going to bring. No, I didn't know he was going to bring. But Josh Allen only ran for over 400 yards last year, and the times when he didn't run, one thing when I watched the Bills play, Josh Allen made 3-4 reads before like, all right, let me run. Lamar's literally like one read. Oh, you ain't no behind.
The play calling set up for Lamar to run though. Like they're actually running plays for Lamar.
Okay.
My take is that it's a great time for all of us. Like I think from a football perspective, like this is the part where even like fantasy wise, real life wise, like it's just a great time because like your team right now, everyone really do believe their team has a chance, especially like the way Cincinnati played last year. So like everybody's like, who's gonna be the Cincinnati of this year? Who didn't make the playoffs?
Not the Patriots.
And I think I'm happy you said it. Yeah. And I think it's the same thing with fantasy. Like I think this is the time of year where it's gonna be extremely hard for you to get any sorts of trade off because everybody believe like they drafted a winner.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right, guys, thanks for coming on the show. It's a great show. We knocked out an hour of just back and forth.
Yeah, because he was ready. He was excited to be in the room.
All right, this wraps up another episode of The Hot Seat. Yours truly, Nesta Ken. Take care and God bless.
All right.